you love. Today I am live with a gentleman who's the keyboardist for the Winehouse Experience, Joey. Wait,
Cefalu.
Cefalu. Yeah,
Yes,
all
sir.
right. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Joey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me, man. I'm stoked to be on. This is my first podcast appearance, so I'm excited.
Yeah, as it's gonna be many more, man, because we gotta learn from each other and do some shedding and things of that nature.
Yes, sir.
Uh, for the this is your first time on this particular show, so uh, share a little bit about who you are, where you come from.
Sure thing. Sure thing, man. Let's see. Well, my name is Joe. I'm originally from San Jose, California. I'm a keyboardist, music director, and producer. And I met Daniel here through. We were on the same bill together, playing in Long Beach. Doing what I was doing what I'm normally doing throughout the week, just gigging. And it's always so cool to get to meet like-minded musicians, just other keys players that are just doing their thing, and
Yeah,
man, I just love what I do.
cool, cool. All right, so let's get to the meat of it. What inspired you, and who inspired you to start playing keyboards and just get into the business?
Yeah, sure. So inspiration, I feel like I could go on about it because there's so many, and yeah, but I won't try to take too much time talking about it. Man, I grew up in a family musician, so my mom's a piano
Ah,
player, my dad's a guitar player, so it started off like just being in the blood, and in the
right.
lifestyle growing up. So at first it was hard to even tell like inspiration from lifestyle because you're just as a kid I was just marinating in it. So
Right.
at first it was just like I'm living in it. This is like the sauce that I'm floating in right now. So it started off as like, my dad would be playing the blues or some jazz on guitar. He does an excellent like Wes Montgomery sound. So it started with hearing that, then getting into like, listening to the Who and Green Day and all these,
Wow.
rock, and then picked up piano at 5, and then it became,
Ah,
learning classical, Bach, Baroque stuff like Bach, classical like Mozart, and that became the inspiration for a long time. And then kind of like found an actual relationship playing jazz in like high school, and that's where I really found, okay, this is something that not only
ah,
can my parents motivate me to practice, this is actually something that I really, really want to listen to. So it was jazz, it was big band, it was then like that kind of college fusion of stuff like Glasper and Snarky Puppy.
right.
And then through that, I realized like, oh my gosh, like all these cats, Glasper, Terrace Martin, all these people I'm listening to, Corey Henry, they're all drawing from Dilla and like D'Angelo. And then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's where my favorite music comes from. Now this is
Right.
my favorite music. So now it's uh it's been a lot of jazz, a lot of neo soul and gospel, you know, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. It really inspires me. It's a music that you know, I'm motivated to practice always for sure.
That's that's cool because so you said high school was when you realized that this is what you want to do.
Honestly, yeah, it felt really second nature until high school. It was, until then it was like, oh, this is just something that I'm supposed to do, or my parents want me to practice, or my teacher wants me to practice, or I feel weird if I'm not playing. It was just such a bodily thing. And then yeah, and then in high school, then I was like, oh wow, okay, this is like I could make something out of this. I could, this is a type of music that I like doing a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so it was your parents that kind of gave you that pivotal experience. Outside of them, I know you mentioned a lot of other people, but what's right now is your personal mission to
Mm,
what is your personal mission? I mean, I know you said you read music, correct?
I do read. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, you do you teach music or anything like that?
No, no, I don't. I'm not teaching at the moment. I might get into it in the future. I've had a few piano students before. I think where I'm at, I'd like to just continue just getting musical experience, and I want to have something to say as a teacher. Have a
Right.
experience to draw. I'm young still. I'm 26, and I want to. You
Wow.
know,
Okay.
by the time I start teaching, I want to be able to have more to draw from for sure. So
Okay.
I'll come around to it eventually. Yeah, but the musical mission, man, right now, it's just I love doing what I do, and I love seeing the way music can change people's day. It can really affect how somebody's feeling, whether that's the
Yeah.
consumer. So if I'm producing a record and I know like, oh, this is gonna make a lot of people listen to it, and it can be something they're driving to or lyrics that they resonate with or something that can be great, and also just
Yeah.
I do it for the clients, I do it for the artists, if I'm whether I'm MDing them, just playing keys or producing, just seeing how it I can help this person that is being so transparent about their life experience and putting it into a song and like that's it's a vulnerable thing to do. And being able to allow that artist to feel free to express and help them create
Yeah.
their art is great. It's right
That's
now it's not something that doing it myself, making my own music is really, I like being on the sidelines. So I'm like, all right, well, if I'm not going to be the one showing myself, I
uh
might as well help other people do it because it's a cool thing.
yeah. So when you're writing for other artists, are you trying to appease them or are you just writing stuff from the heart and say, hey, can you put some lyrics to this or add whatever instrument?
Man, dude, man, that's a great question. I feel like it maybe depends who you're working with. But to me, it's always a little bit of everything. Um, the artist, obviously, if they're hiring a producer, or a music director, keys player, whatever it is, they want your input, they want your personality in it. How much of your
Okay.
personality, that always depends.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll look at it as I'm kind of serving the client. I'm kind of trying to say something myself, but it's really serving the song. And if
Yeah.
me and the artist can come together and whoever else is working on it and think we're all on this team to serve this piece of art we're creating. Um,
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, I've noticed that that's helped me kind of think, help me as a way to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your first gig? What was your first gig? I know you said you're 26, but if you've been playing since you were 5, I mean, what was your, you know, I mean, I don't like to use the word church gig for a church, but even in that instance, was that the first place you ever played at, or?
First place I played at, man, was the house, and then probably the first time I played out could have been, like, piano recitals and then school, so, like, high
Uh-huh.
school like, middle school, high school band concerts.
Right.
The first, like, paid gig I did, my mom actually she does musical theater, piano and music directing
Okay.
for
All
shows.
right.
So she brought me in on second keys, when I was, like, in 6th or 7th grade, so that was my first paid work. Was
Oh, man,
through a
that's
couple
cool.
musicals, and then, I might have gotten a couple, like, jazz club day gigs, in high
Uh,
school with the homies. We had, like, the A-list combo, so sometimes the band director would let us play at this spot called Cafe Stritch during the daytime or something.
okay. So was it hard working with your mother?
No, not at all. She's amazing. She's such an amazing person and just a really level-headed teacher. She motivates you when she needs to, and she has tons of experience teaching. She was the head of the jazz department at Santa Clara University, so
Okay.
she's really tapped in with how to bring the best out of students. Yeah, I'm lucky. It was always a very good
Yeah.
relationship for sure.
Yeah. Because, sometimes when you're working with, parents, student, because for instance, my granddaughter, she plays trombone.
Oh, cool, cool.
And, I'm pretty easy on her, but her dad, I mean, not that he's strict on her, like, okay, that's pretty good, but step it up. And I'm more or
Yeah,
less like,
yeah.
good job, keep working at it. I'm a little softer. So,
Yeah, it's good. It's good. You gotta have a good cop, bad cop for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Oh my goodness. So, what are some of the challenges that you're facing right now on your musical journey? I mean, it
Hmm.
because I know every musician face obstacles, and how can I put it gently? As keyboardists, and maybe your mother can attest to this. I know that we carry the bulk of the bands,
Yeah.
but yet they say that we can be pushy, but yet I feel that we're sensitive. So
I hope no other rhythm section players are watching this.
yeah,
They're gonna be upset.
you know, yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people gonna watch the show, but I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm a sensitive guy. I seem to be pushy. Hey, no, play this chord, play this bass note, but
Yeah,
yet
yeah.
I'm sensitive. So I'll be the first to admit. But what are some of the obstacles that you face? In this journey when you're
Man,
working with different people.
that was a funny point. I feel like keys players were always like pushing our glasses in and being like, well, actually, the chord is this.
Right, right,
Yeah, yeah, you forgot the sharp 11.
right.
um, yeah, I think that, man, we could even get into that too. But ah, what's a challenge that mainly just with this will kind of take it in a different direction, but with how I was thinking
Okay.
about this with my one of my business partners yesterday. Um, the biggest challenge I face is honestly this new like digital world that we're having to exist in. We all it's, you know, and
Yeah,
like I feel like it's such a different animal now mentally. You
yeah,
mentioned God spiritually, like it's just crazy. I'm still wrapping my head around it. I
yeah,
don't know about you, but a lot of us that are musicians, not artists, one day artists, maybe perhaps artists on the side,
yeah.
got into the job that we are because we want to be on the side. We don't like to be front facing.
All right.
And now it's like everybody's got to have a personality online, and everyone's now has to be on camera a ton.
Yeah,
So it's probably that, like wrapping my head around, okay, how do I can stay relevant now. This makes sense, but like where is that going to go in 10 years, or like thinking
yeah.
content schedules and having to get, I have my phone standing on this, like I have it turned off, but it's on a ring light stand right now. Like
Right,
I never thought I
okay.
was going to have to get that. And so
Right.
probably that, and just like consistent bookings. Like everyone's social medias, we're watching their highlight reel, but inside
Yeah,
we're experiencing our own like gag reel. But we see everybody's highlights all the time. We assume everybody's working, but it's like, man, I know myself, however my social media comes off, or friends of mine that are like super killing people. They're like on their Instagram, they're touring with like all these crazy homies and stuff.
right.
And like I talk to them, I think about my own schedule, and it's like, damn, everyone is struggling to keep the calendar booked.
Yeah,
So it's that, yeah, probably like thinking about continued relevance in the digital age and just keeping busy. Sometimes it's like
yeah.
gigs are flowing and it's crazy. You're saying no to the same day 4 times or something, and then
Right.
I know for me, I had a super quiet last couple weeks, and I was like, "Damn, am I gonna be like working again?" So it's navigating that, staying like strong, like being patient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So with that being said, do you ever feel like giving up? I mean, when it's kind of like, okay, maybe I need to get another little part-time job just to make sure my money's okay and I'm sustaining.
man. I mean, I think everyone has those thoughts cross their mind. But at the end of the day, it really is about it. If the place we're at is uncomfortable professionally, and we want to, if we're experiencing strain and want to expand our work, what I'm starting to realize is I think a lot of it comes down to just having more patience and fortitude to stay in the game than the person
Okay.
next to you.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, like that there's this picture of the two people mining on different levels, and one of them is like chipping away, and on the right side of the picture there's like this huge like thing of diamonds, and
Yeah.
there's these two guys on their own little mine shaft tunnels. One guy got pissed, he turned around right before he hit it, and then another guy is still, he's still chipping away. So
Chipping
I was
away.
thinking that, man, it's like, man, if me and keys player X to the right here, if I can just stay in longer than him or her or
Yeah.
them,
Right.
that might be when stuff really pops off.
Yeah. So how does your rehearsal schedule look, or your practice schedule, I should say, not your rehearsal, but your
Oh,
practice schedule?
man.
Because I know some people say 30 minutes at least because you
Yeah, life happens, life happens. Oh man, my practice schedule. I hope no one takes this advice because I'm such a bad example. I can't even I can't remember the last time I practiced just for the sake of practicing, and I'm so ashamed of it. So usually my practicing is just learning songs for gigs, man. Lately, um,
Yeah.
what's definitely worked for me in the past has been just clocking in as much time as I can that day. So if I can get 2 hours in, great. If I can get 5 hours in, great. If I can only get 10 minutes in, great. There's been times in my life where that's what I was doing, and that worked great. But even if someone's, 15 minutes every day is better than 5 hours one day. So
Right. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. You know, let's just kind of go backwards on that music as far as with the digital and things of that nature. I had interviewed a good friend of ours, and we were just talking about the AI and all these great things. Uh, I don't have anything against it. I need to learn a little bit more about it. But what is your take on all this stuff?
oh man, I'm still trying to decide how I'm thinking about it. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts too because it's confusing. Um, on one hand, it's been really useful as a tool.
Right.
So, stem splitters are great. I've used AI stem splitters for programming an for artists tours. They're doing a theater tour,
Yeah.
and they don't have the stems to their songs because they made them in 2016, and they don't talk to that producer anymore. Back then, it was like, all right, well, they just can't
All
do that song, or they just have to sing over like the record.
right.
But now it's like, yeah, I could get the stems for it, and it's not perfect, but yeah, and then they can perform that song in front of thousands of people. So that on that one hand, it's really dope. Also using, being able to use GPT or like Gemini or something, just if I'm having like DAW problems and I can't solve it, and I'm
Yeah.
like mid session, I don't have time to like scan Reddit for the
Oh.
answer of like why my plugin latency compensation isn't working or something.
Right, okay.
Now you can just say, "Hey, this isn't working," and then it spits out a solution right away. So it's great for like efficiency,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's also terrifying because
So do you use any of it to do recording, like the, what is that? The Suno, I think is what it's called, Suno,
oh, that like
and things of that nature, those all those other digital platforms that's starting to you can put your music in there. Uh, how do you feel about stuff like that?
I'm honestly not too familiar. Is Suno the one that like it can make beats for you if you describe how you want it to sound?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's where I turn the other way. I don't like it. It's like it's annoying. I wish it didn't exist because I'm actively out here making beats for people. So it's like, nah, come to me.
Right, right, yeah. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm still on the fence about it. Again, I had a few interviews with people. We've discussed this. Um, I'm not against it. I'm not for it. Right now, I'm neutral. I know that sounds crazy, but again, I feel that sometimes it takes away the creative juices that God has given us
Yeah.
internally.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, it gives you great ideas. I mean, it's sort of like with the logic. You get a good loop from logic and say, "Oh, okay, I can build from this." So I don't have anything against it. But like I explained on the last episode, it's like our social media. We can use this for good, or use it and it becomes a beast and overtakes us. And I hate to use the word evil, but it can overtake us to where we get so lazy and say, "Okay, this is what I want." And you're a real musician. You want to play and come up with something to say, ah, look at the
Yeah.
creativity that came out of me. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence. I mean, if it gives you some ideals, go along with it. But if it's going to overtake you and you can say, oh, I can do 20 songs in a day.
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I don't know. Again,
Yeah.
you got people like the Stevie Wonders, Gladys Knights, the Rolling Stones. Those people worked hard to write music, and
Yeah.
they came up with their own stuff. And uh, that's how I feel about it. So, I
Definitely.
mean, I haven't jumped all the way in the pool yet, but I'm still just flirting with it. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's how I mean, that's probably the best take on it. I mean, it's definitely super useful, and it's definitely, like, can definitely sap I feel like can definitely sap creativity, so it's like, man, we gotta find how we can use it to our advantage and not let it, overtake us, you know? But, people have been I'm optimistic that artists that really wanna create meaningful stuff will continue to hire producers
yeah,
and musicians. Um, there's already been people, the clients that we already really don't work with would be artists that buy YouTube beats, or there's
right.
already a whole market of that we're not tapped into, and I feel like it's gonna be those artists that become the ones that buy AI beats. So it's maybe it'll
Uh,
have its own little ecosystem over there.
yeah.
Just, keep doing our thing. But
yeah. Okay. Well, what one lesson that you learned the hard way, but yet you're grateful for today?
oh man, that's a good question. Hmm. Do you have an example while I think of one?
Well, I mean, for instance, I learned a lesson. I know you said you're 26, but this was years ago. Uh, I was hired to play at this church with this workshop, and the main musician he told me, "Hey, the chord is this," and I said, "Well, as I listen to the record, I think the chord is this." So he nicely whispered in my ear because everybody was around, the whole chorale was around. He said, "Hey, why don't you sit down, let me play, and I'll get back with you." I had to sit out the whole rehearsal. So after rehearsal, this is the lesson that I learned, but I'm very grateful for it. He says, I'm in charge. They hired me to do the music, write out the music, and all this great stuff. So whether the chord is right or not, you don't come to the person who's in charge and tell them. You might make a suggestion, but you don't, you know, be dogmatic about it and say,
Mm,
hey, no, this is the core. So I learned a lesson. And to this day, when someone, if I'm being hired, they say, oh, play this chord. I say, how does this sound? I mean, I try not to overstep my bounds. That's what I'm grateful
mm,
for.
for
So,
sure. That's a great lesson. That's a great lesson. Um, I have conflicting thoughts on the music director in this situation, because on the other side, on the flip side of it, I do feel like if you're going to be a leader, the ability to listen is also really important. But
okay.
the ability to take input as the leader, and be open to being wrong is almost equally as important. But
Right.
yeah, it's a dance that you have to do though, because if you're a supporting musician, there's a saying, Robert Greene writes about it in one of his books. It's something about not embarrassing the master. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
maybe he's wrong about the chord, maybe she's wrong about the chord, but not telling them, making a point to not tell them and dog them in front of the other musicians or something, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because he was kind about it, but it was this thing to where I'm like, oh, I get it now. But I was in my 20s,
Mm,
and that was one of the lessons that I learned, and I do appreciate it. So now, like when we get together, I might make a suggestion, I try not to, be overbearing, that type of thing. Uh, I know that we want to cut it short because I know you got things to do, but let me ask you a few more questions, and I promise
Absolutely.
I'll let you go. All
Oh,
right.
you're good, you're good, this is fun. I'm having fun. I don't got too much going on today.
Oh, cool.
Grateful to be
Okay,
here.
cool. Okay, because here's a real question for you because we have a lot of other musicians that are like 10, 12 years old. I mean, they're playing like, 30, 40-year olds,
Yeah.
So the question is, even with that being said, how do you want to impact the people that's coming behind you?
Mm,
Because I know it's more than just playing.
yeah. Man, I feel like I'm in the middle of generations now. I haven't honestly thought about it too much yet. Yeah, one day teaching and like you said, like whatever life experience I have to draw from and important lessons, hard lessons, trying to save the younger generation from that, allow them to stand on our shoulders as they come up and just keep refining the craft, share the sauce.
Yeah,
Um,
right. Yeah,
yeah, I mean the possibilities are endless. Like teaching, opening up schools, whatever. I don't
yeah.
starting programs. Yeah, I don't know. There's
That's good.
I'll get back to you in 10 years.
Yeah,
I'll have more
yeah.
to say.
But no, but that's good. That's good because I know that we can't take our gifts with us, and I feel that we need to leave something with next generation, and
Definitely.
also just even not only just the playing part, but how to conduct ourselves, on stage, off stage. Just a lot of small little nuggets that we can leave with people. Uh,
Sure.
um, I was going to ask you this: if you weren't doing what you do now, what other job would you want to do?
Mm.
I mean, for example, I mean, I know Prince. I think it was an interview with Prince. He mentioned that he didn't have a plan B.
Yeah.
So,
Man, I'd be out on the street, man. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be up to no good, most likely.
yeah,
No,
right,
this
right.
is it. No, no,
This
I'm
is,
kidding.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, no, I'd be like, I don't know, if I had to, if AI totally took over
Yeah,
music, which it would take over everything else before it took over art. But if it did take
right.
over, um, yeah, like I'd like to say I would kind of enjoy being like a personal trainer or like going to
Yeah,
psychology or something. I don't know, train fitness somehow, sports. But I wouldn't be
right.
happy. If I
Yeah,
had to, I would, but
yeah.
I wouldn't be as happy as I am now.
You know what? I'm trying a new job, and yeah, well, anyway, the world see this, so I'm not gonna talk about it.
Yes,
But
yes.
people want to get to know you personally. So give me a few fun facts about your life. I mean, what would people say about you who knows you?
People would
I
say
mean, except
that's a
that
beautiful
Joe the
question.
keyboard player.
People would say, man, people would say, I love to work out. So that's a huge part of life. I try to do it at least like 6 days a week. I think it keeps me in a good mood. As much as I love music, I love to move, and if I don't do that, it balances out the
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
cerebral and creative side that music is. It's not as physical as you might imagine, unless you like a drummer or something.
all
Um,
right,
I'm really fascinated with cars, like automobiles. I
okay,
know everything about cars. I could tell you anything about the special ones and stuff. So I like to. I'm interested in a lot of things. I like to learn about neuroscience, again, cars, whatever like my
okay,
Instagram algorithm's showing me. So I love learning and obsessing over uh,
that's cool.
different kinds of cars, brands of guitar. I don't even play,
Yeah,
just like learning about them. Uh,
right, yeah,
yeah, yeah, planes are sick. Lots of interests
yeah,
that I have to like not let distract me for sure.
yeah. That's what my mother used to say all the time. God rest her soul, she's in heaven right now. But the bottom line is, she used to say, if you quit learning, you might as well quit living.
Oh, that's
You
cute.
know,
That's great.
and yeah. So in other words, there's always things you can learn. Uh, I'm gonna let you go on this last question though. If you were to collaborate with someone, okay, in the past or present, who would it be?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I,
Then
I'll give
I
I'll
have a
give you
counter
three
question
people
for that.
instead of one. Instead of one, I'll give you three. You
3?
name three.
Ooh, this makes me think of a counter question I wanna ask you after this. Uh,
Okay.
okay, I'll pick 3. I'll pick, an artist, a fellow musician, and some other 3rd one. If I could collab with any artist right now, I just watched Jill Scott's Tiny Desk, and I would have to say Jill Scott. She
Yeah,
is so killing.
yeah, chills.
Like, bro,
Yeah,
yeah, she's dope.
yeah.
A a fellow musician, there's too many to choose from, man. Mm, I think, what's his name, bro? Mike Mitchell, I think. He goes by Black Dynamite, he's a drummer. I just saw
Okay.
him at the Jam Card Jam, and he was just killing. It was
Yeah.
and his phrasing was nuts. Um,
Right.
and then a 3rd, I love to collab with, like, a non-musician or something, like adjacent art or
Y-
something, like a poet
Yeah.
or
Okay.
like
Yeah.
a visual artist and create some kinda, like, interdisciplinary thing, or even, like, a designer or something like that. So that'd be
Yeah.
like,
And you,
I don't know.
y-
I have to
yeah,
get
you
back
know
to
what? I have the same. I have the same problem because when I get asked that question, it's just so many great artists from the past and even to the present. So but I just thought I might just throw it out there to kind of get your take on it.
That's great.
Um, I know that I'm gonna wrap it up, and we'll probably have to do a part two. But
I'd
I
love
want to
to.
ask you this though: how can your supporters get in touch with you? What's your Instagram and Facebook handle and stuff like that? If they
Sure,
want to get
sure.
in touch with you for work, you just shout it out to us.
I'm around for anyone that wants to check me out. My Instagram handle is at Joe Cefalu Music, so JoeCefalu music music. Um, that's mostly where I'm at. People can check me
Okay.
out if anyone listening is on Jam Card, I'm on there as well. I think I have a username. I think it's just at Joe Cefalu. So if people want to check me out
Okay.
there, that's all I'm really on. I'm on YouTube here. I'm not really on YouTube here too much. I don't have too much content there, but people want to check me out. They can. My channel might be linked in here. I'm not sure. Um,
All right. Yeah.
but yeah,
We'll
yeah,
link it all up.
sweet.
Man, Joe, I really appreciate you taking time out. I think we'll have to do a part two because, as keyboard players, man, we got a lot to say and a
We got a
lot
lot
of
to
things to
say.
talk about.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, I am so blessed and grateful that you came on today.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and then we'll be touching bases real soon.
Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you for having me. I'm stoked for the next one.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.